So, hello and welcome to another episode of the Turn 5 podcast. Just the three of us this week, as Chris has been called into work.
Surprise, surprise.
But it's not really much of an issue because we haven't really got a lot to go over this week anyway. So, chronologically, I think it's chronologically from when we last were on air, F1 confirmed the calendar for the 2023 season. And in confirming it, they confirmed that they were not replacing the Chinese Grand Prix, which means that we have a hefty chunk of a break between rounds 3 and 4.
It's like a month, isn't it?
It is 4 weeks. So yeah, so the start of the season, pre-season testing. There's only 1 week of pre-season testing, which I hadn't quite realised. Pre-season testing is the 23rd to the 25th of February. Bahrain kicks us off from the 3rd to the 5th of March. Saudi Arabia is the 17th to the 19th of March. Australia is the 31st of March to the 2nd of April. Then we've got this whacking great gap. And then we're back with Azerbaijan from the 28th to the 30th of April. And then we sort of rattle off until the summer break after the Belgian Grand Prix at the end of July. The full list is obviously, it's on the Formula One website. I won't bore you with all 23 races, but, you know, we've got 3 in the US, but only 1 US Grand Prix. I mean, we're lacking content. I could rattle them off.
Yeah, we got a spring break.
Yeah, we do. I don't really know how I feel about that.
I prefer it if they were to move another race in between it, but I get if they can't.
I don't understand why a race like Portugal couldn't have gone in there.
Yeah,
I suppose going from Australia to Portugal to back to Azerbaijan is like isn't great. I mean, the calendar itself isn't great.
I'm fine with the amount of races we have.
Yeah.
But I would put like some in between the gap just to soften the workload later on.
Yeah, I mean, even if we just moved everything, I know moving everything up a couple of weeks is a logistical nightmare, so it wouldn't happen.
Moving those 3 races back.
Yeah, even that, but I meant, you know, we could go for a longer summer break, but that would get really boring in the middle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I know the teams deserve a break, but we as fans are like, what do we do now?
We don't have enough content to produce as it is.
Yeah, this is true. We're at the end of the winter break and we are struggling, and we took 2 weeks off.
So... You just have to think of the ideas, but it's too long.
Well, it'll really depend what I do over my summer break, because I'm more than happy to churn out some Turn 5 content over the summer if I haven't gone back home to my parents, because we're doing some renovation work on the house and it's going to be a building site, basically. So I also don't know if I'm even going home for Easter, so there might be a lot of streams for a few weeks. Yeah, it's one that I'm not sure on. We'll see. We could have Turn 5 streams over the summer, where I just take over the channel.
Or you could have Turn 5 building site. Where's that? So hello.
Yeah. So hello. Podcast. Where this week. Yeah, it's not going to be great, is it? We'll see. I don't know what's going on yet. So anyway, calendar news. Yes, we've retained the remaining 23 with all other dates as were pretty much. Race you're most looking forward to?
Abu Dhabi, son, it's over.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And I'd say probably the first one to start with. Bahrain.
The initial hype, yeah.
I'm gonna say Azerbaijan because then we're properly getting into it. Not like the 3, then it's like, okay.
Now we've got a month off.
What do we do? Yeah. Azerbaijan feel like properly getting into it.
Just had a really classic Richard left field. Let's pitch an idea moment of instead of China, Bahrain outer.
Yeah.
That's not a million miles from Azerbaijan.
True.
Yeah, so with the calendar remaining as it is, the next piece of news that was announced over the last week was that the Williams Driver Academy is retaining the services of Jamie Chadwick. Can't really say that's much of a surprise. I think that's like their sort of long-term goal to get a woman into Formula One again.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It doesn't seem very likely considering she's gone to IndyCar. Well,
I mean, it's Indy Lights.
Indy Lights, yeah. I couldn't remember whether it was IndyCar or Indy Lights.
So she's doing so. I think it's just to like get her warmed up for the season, really.
Yeah, I think
because I don't see her.
It's to get her away from W Series and F1 Academy.
I mean, I don't see her being. I see her being drafted into the F1 Academy.
First season, yes.
As a headline signing of like, we've got the W Series champion.
Yeah. I feel like for the first season, they'd probably get most of the W Series people back.
Because then I feel like they'd be like, oh, look, now they've got F3 seats because the teams are there, you know? So I feel like that's Chadwick's route now is F1 Academy, F3, F2 up.
Yeah.
Whether it'll work out that way probably will depend on how she does.
I mean, that's what people were saying about W Series when she won it like the second time.
Yeah, but W Series isn't really backed in the same way that the F1 Academy is.
People were saying she should move on to F2 and then F3. So people were saying that should be her route from now, not an extra step and then the Indy Lights and F1 Academy.
Yeah. It's annoying that it's working out that way. Who knows? There's still some F3 seats to fill. So we never know.
I feel like they'd go to someone like Abby Pulling before Chadwick because she's obviously gone to Indy Lights. So it's like.
Well, I don't know. How long is she in the Indy Lights season 4? How long does that carry on? That's the thing. Because if that wraps up before the F3 season kicks off.
From Autosport, it says she will drive the number 28 car sponsored by DHL for the 14 race season that starts in Petersburg, Florida, the 3rd to the 5th of March. So she's doing the whole thing, basically.
Damn, okay. So that's her pretty much out of contention for a seat for this season. Hey, you never know. Maybe she's going to become IndyCar champ.
Yep. That's her plan.
I mean, fair play. If it works out for her, then it'll be a good move. If it doesn't, then maybe it won't look back on it kindly in hindsight. But
schedule: first race 5th of March in St. Petersburg, Florida. Last race 9th to the 10th of September, Laguna Seca, Monterey, California.
That's pretty much
drive
the
at Laguna Seca.
Yeah. 9th to 10th of September. That's after F3 finishes.
Yeah, so
maybe she'll do some guest appearances in F2 at the end of the season when everyone runs out of money again.
Maybe.
If IndyCar go to Laguna Seca, why can't F1? What's that
because
about?
that's Indy Lights, Ben.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The principle's still there.
Mate, I don't think so.
I just want to see an F1 car at the corkscrew go, woo!
I just don't think it would work.
There's exact sound effect as well.
Yeah, that's it. Replace the neon guy with the woo guy. So yeah, that's Chadwick's still in the Williams Driver Academy. What that actually means for her, who really knows in the long run? Especially seeing as she's now sort of, I'd say, less involved with it, being in Indy Lights. Because like if you're in W Series, you're at least at the Formula One weekends.
Yeah, well, she's still with Williams, so she'll be there a couple of races, but I think she'll either stay in Indy Lights and go the IndyCar route and stay there, or does Indy Lights for a year, then maybe F3.
Who else is in the Williams Driver Academy?
Zach O'Sullivan, I know that.
Because I was just thinking they could sort of just draft her in on her races off to fill in the FP1 rookie quota. But if Zach O'Sullivan's still around, then...
Zach O'Sullivan, Oliver Gray, and Franco Colapinto. All three of them are in F3.
Oh, they're in F3, okay.
And then Chadwick's in Indy Lights.
Okay. Interesting. Well, maybe. You never know. Yes. Anyway, next piece of news. Alfa Romeo announced their launch. No, they just launched. They just did it. No, Alfa Romeo announced their launch date. They've announced their launch date before they've announced their team principal.
They might do it then.
That would be amazing. Just like, here he is, the team principal.
The big banner just comes walking out.
Makes sense considering it's right at the start of February, well, a week into February. So
Yeah.
it's like, you may as well do it at the same time, honestly.
Yeah, they've slotted into the third slot on the list of 10 so far. Obviously, Haas haven't announced yet still, so we don't know. But again, as Chris has said, rightfully so, Haas don't really tend to do unveilings. It just tends to be, here's the car on the first day of testing. So,
but I think isn't like the only unveiling they done really was with
Rich Energy.
Rich Energy,
Yeah. Yeah, every other year it's pretty much looked the same. But then again, they've got MoneyGram this year.
True.
So,
but they had.
They just revealed the car with like spray dollar bills.
It's just got dollar bills as the livery. That's it. Just covered in Benjamins.
Yeah.
But when they had Uralkali and did they have someone last year?
No, they got rid of Uralkali and that was it until they signed MoneyGram.
Yeah, so they have, apart from Rich Energy and Uralkali, they haven't had a main sponsor. So I think it depends on the sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to MoneyGram putting on a bit of a spiel to launch the car. It's their first season in Formula One. You know, it doesn't have to be a grand affair like the Ferrari tends to go for, or like renting out half of New York like Red Bull and AlphaTauri will. You know, it just has to be like, it could be like what the teams did with like COVID restrictions and that. Just a live stream. Just like here's in a studio, like here's the car.
Yeah, like or Aston and McLaren did last year, just like a little studio.
Yeah.
Done. Well,
Wheel the car out or whip the cloth off the car.
Like
McLaren in like 2000. Bring out the Spice Girls.
Oh god, yeah, top 10 most cursed car unveilings.
Was there one with Force India where they had Kim Kardashian there? Because there's a picture of Checo and Kim Kardashian.
I think I can't remember if it was, or I don't know if it was a car unveiling or an event, but
there is definitely a picture of Checo and Kim Kardashian.
Lastly, the full F2 grid has been announced, with a couple of drivers extra being announced in Formula 3. So I'll go over the Formula 3 drivers. Hitech have announced their first driver slot. The number 14 car will be filled by Sebastian Montoya, and Campos Racing have announced their third driver slot. So the number 25 car will be filled by Hugh Barter. Other than that, nobody else has been announced this week. We'll bring you more on that as it unfolds. Formula 2. So the full lineup: MP Motorsport, Dennis Hauger and Jehan Daruvala, Carlin, Enzo Fittipaldi and Zane Maloney, ART, Teo Pourchaire and Victor Martins, Prema, Fred Vesti and Ollie Behrman, Hitech, Jack Crawford and Isaac Hadjar, Dams, Ayumu Iwasa and Arthur Leclerc, Virtuosi, Jack Doohan and Amaury Cordial, PHM Racing by Charouz, Roy Nissany and Brad Benavides, Trident, Roman Stanek and Clement Novalak, VAR, Richard Verschoor and Juan Manuel Correa, And Campos is Kushmini and Ralph Boschung. So a lot of familiar names there, some promotions as well. Yeah, I mean, that's a strong field, is my opinion on that. Not as strong as it could be. Obviously, we've still got Roy Nissany in there. I think he's a strong contender as a replacement for people in the unholy trifecta. We haven't pulled out in a while, you know.
Is there an unholy trifecta for F2 now?
Well, that's the thing. There's just Nissany is it. We haven't replaced anyone since
What
the
about
egg.
Cordeal? Is he?
Amaury Cordeal.
I can't remember any of his results.
He wasn't terrible. Who
was in the original Unholy Trifecta?
It was Mahavir Raghunathan.
How could I forget?
The egg. And was it Roy Nissany anyway?
Might have been.
I think it was.
I think it was actually. So he's the last surviving member of the original trio.
There was I don't know what his name was. I forgot his name, but he was also in F2, and he was like a minute down at Monaco or something stupid. I think it becomes C.
I know what you mean, and I can't think of it.
While you're looking, Cordeal was charged with speeding twice. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes, him.
He filmed a video of him
driving too fast,
driving on speeding on the motorway, and then he got given a 6-month road license suspension and €3,600 fine for doing in a 50 kilometers per hour zone, 179 kilometers per hour.
Nice.
The speed limit. Deleda.
That's the one.
I said that really, really well.
Where's he at these days? Alessio Deleda, Italian race car driver.
28 years old.
Currently competing in DTM.
Wow.
Apparently, that's according to Wikipedia. Oh yeah, Roma DTM racing driver on his Instagram bio.
And its best finish was 26th.
In DTM?
Yep.
Out of 27.
Let's find out. That's for the Grasser racing team.
I think there's like 30 odd cars in DTM.
34 drivers in DTM.
34, and he finished 26th.
Well, I don't know how many of them have competed every single race though.
Damn.
But in the standings right now, there's 34. What about it?
Okay, so Alessio's not doing too hot, but then again, he wasn't doing too hot in the old.
There he is. He's got 1 point.
Yeah, he got 1 point in the latest round.
How's he managed that?
Oh, wait,
That was the last round.
That was the last round of 2022.
Oh, right, okay.
That was at Hockenheim.
Bring back Germany. I think. I mean, that's all we've got for news. Is there anything else anyone wants to discuss this week?
What's the name?
No, good. I streamed for 22 hours on Thursday and Friday combined.
Why?
Why not? I've got nothing else to do with my time at the minute.
How much longer were you up on the Friday night?
On the Friday,
I went at like 2:45 or something.
How did I stop streaming on Friday? I mean, there was a difference in the time I stopped streaming and the time I stopped playing, I think. It says I streamed for 8 hours on Friday, but actually, oh, there we go. Saturday, 4:30 in the morning.
It's broken.
Don't.
So that was what, like 12 hours?
It was 10 hours or so, yeah.
10 hours, guys.
I did a 12-hour stream on Thursday evening into Friday morning, and then a 10-hour stream Friday night into Saturday morning. My sleeping schedule hasn't recovered.
And it won't.
No, no, it really won't. Okay, so since December the 7th, which was when I first crossed the affiliate threshold, I have streamed 57 hours and 10 minutes. If we go from the 12th of January to now, I've streamed 40 hours and 1 minute. So of that 57, 40 hours have been in the last 2 weeks. I'm so tired. And we'll be back again this Thursday with more content. It's probably going to be another Stupidly Dunk stream as well. Because why not?
It's your choice.
I guarantee I'll be invited out, but at the same time, kind of don't want to go. So I just might not, you know.
We still need to end the podcast, just so you know.
I know, I am aware, but nobody else had anything to say. So I was like, you know what, we're just going to pad it with some like other stuff, you know.
Just chat about our lives.
So you can find one quarter of the Turn 5 podcast playing video games on Twitch. Thursdays and Fridays, because that's currently my in the schedule. I'm thinking of adding a Monday day stream, but I don't know how popular that'll be.
Depends what time it is.
Well, it'll be sort of the afternoon until a bit before until we record, you know.
So until like 9 o'clock.
But yeah. I'd say maybe I'd go till like 7:30, because then I can cook some food beforehand. But then, yeah, I don't know.
Are we ever going to do another Turn 5 stream? Because
at some point, I reckon.
Well, we kind of have to, really, don't we? I mean, the thing is, we need Ben, because you've got a computer that can probably handle it.
What do you need, Vian?
We need you to log in on the account and basically stream for us.
Yeah, I could do it.
Because otherwise it's Chris and he just does it from his Xbox.
Yeah.
And that just makes me cringe.
I would say I can stream as well. I have streamed from this, but
excellent. We can have everyone stream at the same time.
I've thought about streaming only because if I say something bad, I can make a VAR segment and go to VAR, and then someone could be like, "Oh, that's over the line."
Goal line technology.
It's genius.
Red, he's off end stream. Oh God. I mean, yeah, we'll sort out some Turn 5 stuff. I mean, especially if we're going to have like a 4-week break of races, we need something to fill it. So,
anything be the graphics.
That's all right. I've got graphics that I've made. They look fine.
Yeah, yours look alright, to be fair.
I made them in Paint, mate.
Oh, that's right.
So, if I can do it, anyone can. I've literally used everything that was free to me, so just we'll crack on with it. But anyway, enough waffling. We'll just bin this off, because the amount of Formula One comment is limited at this point. We might stream Formula One just for the bands. Nia, have you got F1 22?
If you don't have it, I wouldn't.
It's on sale now.
Oh,
I would not advise buying it.
It's like 70% off
hang on.
on Steam Classic.
Yeah, what's on Steam? Give it a second.
You're better off buying Euro Truck Simulator.
Trucking Thursdays.
You mother trucker.
What's that film where they were just going across America in lots of trucks, but it was illegal or something? And it's a song as well.
What, the Convoy?
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Classic.
Oh,
Coldstone class. You don't know Convoy?
no.
Big fan of the
Convoy.
shoes. Big fan of the shoes with rubber duck.
Right. Yeah, we'll sort out some Term 5 streams of some description. Until then,
Oh, it's $14.99.
exactly, buy it.
I have spent too much money lately.
If
It's
you buy it,
payday
that means
soon.
I have to re-download it, and I
Do
don't
it.
want to
Yes,
do that.
You do, Ben. You do,
No, I
because
don't.
we're going to play it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's payday soon, and I'm going to Cardiff soon after payday.
Wait, actually,
It doesn't matter. You can still afford.
before we go, I'll
$14.99.
get my way. Oh, is that really loud or not?
What?
Can you not hear it at all?
No.
No.
All right, cool. So I'm
Oh, okay. You're flacking your paddles.
yeah.
You
So
can.
if we go on F1, then I'm going to be like Lewis Hamilton, mate, crashing into Alonso and be like, "Oh, I'm out."
If we go on F1, mate. Yeah. Oh, PlayStation.
I nicked this from my brother. I don't even own a PlayStation. I have a
I mean,
Switch.
okay, I've got Xbox, I've got Switch, I've got fucking put it back. I've got Wii U. I've got Wii. I've got the Switch. Yeah, I've got keyboard. my
I've got my
steering wheel's in
Switch.
the loft, so
My Switch is down there. I hope I'm not getting it.
fair enough. Mine's on top of my computer, so
Mine's connected to my telly.
I've got mine connected to my my capture card inbuilt one, and then I've got my Xbox and my Wii U alternated between my external capture card. Because yeah, I got 2 capture cards. All the content, none of the commitment. Right. Let's end this.
Yep.
Thank you very much for listening and or watching. We hope you've enjoyed the complete waffle that is pre-season, and see you
and during the season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I'm sure,
okay,
yeah.
fine,
Wow.
but
It's a bit
we
more
actually have
structured.
more Formula One content
It's a
in
bit
the
more
season.
structured in the season.
A little bit. We will see you at the
tiniest
same,
bit.
same time next week. Goodbye.